Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Jaedong and DHA2 here on Circuit Breakers. Bottom left-hand corner is the red, well, brown Zerg player Jaedong. And in the top left-hand corner, we've got the blue Terran player DHA2. I don't know who this is. Once again, it is a Smurf name that is not on the Smurf list. I googled it, put Brood War next to the name, and there are no results for DHA2 LMAO. Or DHA2 as well. And I found a list of people playing on the Fish server. This is not on it as well. So if you know who DHA2 is, let me know in the comments and I'll change the title. And thank you for the help as always. Alright man, so Jaedong in a ZVT. I told you that the Jaedong replay pack that I got for Team Liquid is all ZVPs. But I found a ZVT here for Jaedong. We'll see how he does. We'll see how he does against Terran. But I feel like he's going to do very, very well. DHA2 has a 388 APM, 420 something APM for Jaedong. Yeah, whoever this guy is, he's very, very good at StarCraft. Alright, so here we go. Barracks first on the low ground. Going to hope to wall this off. It's kind of hard to do, but as long as it's not a 4 pool or, you know, a very, very early pool, I think you're going to be okay. And yes, it's not going to be 4 pool here from Jaedong. Scouting with the Overlord in the correct direction, which is always very, very impressive to me that people can do this on accident. I mean, okay, it's not that impressive, but it's nice. It's nice to get an Overlord scout at your Terran's base fast, where you can see what's going on. And not your Terran's base, but your opponent Terran's base. See what's going on over there and try to shut things down, or at least know what's coming your way. Right. So that's definitely a hatch first. Jaedong is not going for the pool first at all. Going for a hatch, not an extractor, not a spawning pool. He's got Overlord scouting. He's got drones scouting. He hasn't seen anything quite yet, but now this Overlord is going to catch sight of that barracks. SCV scouting the correct direction too. Actually, 2 SCVs, as Da is hedging his bets and trying to make sure that he can find Jaedong wherever he happens to be. And yep, finds him immediately. SCVs are faster scouters than Overlords are. Marine in production should shoo that Overlord away, so he's getting out of there as fast as he can on the map. What are we building up here, my friend? Oh, supply depot, nothing too crazy. Bunker at the front. Actually, hold on. Where's that bunker being built? That's a supply depot. Oh, there's a bunker down here that's being fully surrounded by drones. All right, that SCV did not just scout. He came in, threw down a bunker, but then a bunch of drones came over and shut it down before really anything could happen here. Jaedong is losing a lot of mining time. Does he wants to get a surround on these guys and kill them. Holy smokes. Is he going to get it is the question. There's 2 Marines here. 1 drone goes down. SCV is getting surrounded and massacred as well. Nope, another Marine shows up. More are here. The spawning pool is almost done. Once the spawning pool is done, there are lings in production. They can help with this. But wow, that is a lot of lost mining time for Jaedong. This is a lot of SCVs off the line. Or drones, rather, off the line. There are a couple SCVs off the line here, too. And it's not like, I mean, Daw's happily mining back home either. He doesn't have an expansion either. But I really feel like that was just Jaedong trying to stay alive at this stage. His lings are out. This SCV is in trouble. And obviously is aware of that fact as tries to juke the heck out of there. More lings are going to cruise across the map. There is a bunker in production now in the defensive position where there are 4 Marines ready to rock. The Marines are spreading themselves out to where they can deal with any lings that try to make a run by. Although, are they in position to actually stop this from happening? Not really, but there they are. Now they're coming back around. The lings get shooed away. The bunker is done. It's going to be full of Marines here very shortly. Or actually, no. They decided not to go in the bunker. Instead, kind of hanging out, trying to cover this top section, which maybe is easier for a run-by for lings. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. The lings roll in, SCV there to buffer, and the Marines able to shove them away. So, 1 gas. 1 gas for Jaedong. Going for a lair. Lair upcoming here from him. Oh, lings do get the run-by. They get the run by here into the main base. They're going to be incredibly annoying out here, but there are some Marines pushing from DHA2 right now. Ling's trying to take down some of these SCVs. We can see the health bars on them. And yep, SCVs 1, 2, 3 down, possibly even 4 here. And no, Marines clear everybody out. These Marines attacking up before the Sunken is finished. Sunken is taking some serious hits once again. Drones being pulled off the line here. Marines fighting as well as they can. But again, if there are lings in the mix, it's a lot better here for Jaedong. And he does manage to shove it away temporarily. But the Sunken Colony is target fired. Another Marine goes down. Another Marine goes down. Another ling goes down. Again, this is just forcing Zerglings out of Jaedong. He really doesn't like this at all. He'd rather be droning up, but instead losing drones, making Zerglings that can't do anything on the other side of the map, really. He might try to get another run by, but I mean, sure, he got 3 SCV kills, but otherwise didn't really shut down anything DHA2 was trying to do. So pretty darn interesting opening stages of this game right now. I'm loving it. There's your Spire and a second gas on the way from Jaedong. So I assume we're going to see some do-base Muta play, as we don't have a third base from the Zerg player quite yet. Meanwhile, up in Terranville, we have an engineering base. So that definitely likes to point towards bio, especially considering the number of Marines we have out for DHA2 right now. But he only has, what does he have? The 1 barracks? He's got the 1 barracks, which seems like it's not enough for dealing with what is coming his way. He's trying not to get supply blocked. He's making, there we go, his academy here, trying to go for stim. That early Marine push did not work. Jaedong is in a great position, I think, right now. There's not a lot of production available here. DHA2 skipped building additional barracks in exchange for getting that aggression out, and I think that was a mistake. SCV fights a Zergling there for just a second. Not what you want to do if you are in SCV, and just waiting for the Spire to finish here, making sure he has enough Overlords to produce enough Mutalisks. He's going to have enough gas for about 5 or 6 Mutas when this thing pops, and enough minerals requisite here too. So engineering bay is done. Missile turrets can be produced, although I don't see any in the production tab right now. I think he's probably aware of the possible timing of when those can come in, so he's not going to make them early, as that would be a waste. Another big Marine push. This is a surprising amount of Marines, considering, again, there's the 1 barracks here, you guys. These guys just waltzing on in. No upgrades at all. No stim, no +1. No support from medics. It's just straight up Marines, which I've died to on ladder, you guys. Straight up Marine pushes like this are pretty scary. Focusing down the Zerglings pretty effectively here. And there we go. Now it's just drones versus this many Marines. This is really bad for Jaedong. Wow. Absolutely fantastic play. Pulling all of the drones off the line. The Mutas are out now, though. The Mutas are here. There are 3 more in production. And it looks like a handful already out. Yep, 4, 3, maybe even 5 here to go. These Marines are picked off. There are missile turrets in production here inside the natural base. And are we doing any in the main? I don't know that we are, but everybody dies out here to the Mutas. Everybody's caught outside. There was a medic. And she's not going to make it to safety. She's completely dead there. So bunker is going to be what's going to keep you alive. Missile turrets finishing in the nick of time. Just at the very last second here for DHA2. He knows what he's doing with the timing on these. More missile turrets coming up inside the main to defend against these Mutalisks that are flying around, owning the map control right now, but still it's a 2-base versus a 2-base. Additional barracks are done, producing Marines like a crazy person for DHA2. Jaedong trying to swing around with these Mutas and trying to get something done here. Pick off an SCV, maybe building a missile turret. There we go. A couple SCVs do go down, but taking some serious shots there as well. And a couple of these guys are injured, but they're doing the nice little swinging around, stacked up, single target firing here. 1 Muta does die. Turret! Is it going to go down? It does end up going down there. That's a pretty darn fantastic pick up there. Jaedong making it happen with these Mutalisks, but more turrets are present, and that should be enough to chase these guys away. The Mutalisks now down to 4. Another one of their number falls. Still flying around, trying to kill what they can. I guess maybe trying to take down a barracks all by their lonesome. That seems like a bit of a problematic, difficult thing to do, but killing Marines is pretty awesome too there. Missile turret shots just all over the place. Yes, no missile turret there for you. 4 Mutas in the group, 5 Mutas in the group. Marines are popping out of these barracks and just dying. This is such great control right now out of Jaedong. He's staying away from the missile turrets as well as he can. He's trying to pick up these SCVs, but that is well placed on the turrets there in the natural base. The main base is in trouble. He's trying to actually missile turret creep his way up to be able to make his Marines live when they come out of these barracks. But guess what? Lings are on the way. Still 2-base out of Jaedong right now. He's got Lings. He's got Mutas. He's coming on in for an attack on this bunker. Can he get it? The SCVs are not able to repair stuff. The bunker's down. The Marines are down. The Lings pull out. I'm not sure why they're running right now. I feel like they're in a pretty darn good position. Maybe the SCVs were enough to deal with those Lings, but wow. All right. Where's our third base? Third base potentially down here in the bottom right-hand corner for the Zerg player. Any sign of a third from DHA2? I don't think so, man. I don't think I see him building a command center at all. Ooh, 6 Lurkers. 6 Lurkers in production. This might just be a case of Jaedong dealing with early aggression, holding it, and then marching his way to victory just by the virtue of the fact that he held that early stuff. He's got a Queen's Nest. He's working on going to Hive. Got a Hydralisk den, obviously, because he's got Lurkers in production, and here they are. Are they defensive or offensive is the question. They're moving out. Looks like they are planning, maybe, sort of. They're dealing with navigating this bridge right now, which is a little bit hard for the pathfinding in a Brood War. But so far, So good. Throwing up defenses all over the place. Missile turrets, bunkers, any tanks would be so good right now. One Lurker does kind of get target fired there, but no, none of the Lurkers go down. Two of them are very injured, but none of them are dead. That's the problem here. Ling's Muta's rolling on in. Bunker down. Two more bunkers at the back trying to fire in what they can. This supply depot is under direct fire from these Lurkers. What do we got to show for it here? Supply depot being repaired, trying desperately to hold right now. The siege is real right now. Trying to break out of this without tanks is extremely difficult. But does he have any factories? He's got supply depots. He's got a factory. He's making tanks, not making tanks. Not making tanks right now. There we go. Jaedong is taking a third in the bottom right-hand corner. He's got overlords heading all over the place, trying to make sure he knows any attacks that come out. When you're containing a Terran, you want to make sure no dropships wander over and kill you while you're paying attention to that front door. Jaedong knows exactly what's up and how to do that. There is your hive on the way from Jaedong. He's working on 3 more Lurkers. It's 67 to 56 supply. Jaedong is crushing it right now. Tanks finally in production. Is that siege mode? Yep. Siege mode on the way at that machine shop. So we'll be able to have some tanks here to try to clear this out. But this is so many Lurkers at the front. There are already 6. There are 1, 2, 3 more coming to join this Lurker contain party. There's the scan. They're not getting close enough to where you can shoot them. Thank you very much. They're just making sure you can't leave this place without dying and choking out a Terran player by keeping them on 2 bases while you're expanding to 3 bases, possibly to 4 bases. Can work exceptionally well. Nidus Canal in production. Adrenal glands. Jaedong is going for Defilers because why not at this stage? He's really good with Defilers and ZVP. I can't imagine he's any worse versus Terran. DHA2 is at 75 to 75 supply, so he's doing okay. He's really macroing his heart out right now. He's making tanks. He's got the siege tanks. He's rocking on these guys. How many of these guys are injured is the question. He's focusing on the injured one and injuring it further, which is really quite nice. And again, just slow push out is what this is. The problem is Jaedong has a fully saturated 3rd right now. Is that a macro hat? Oh, that's your Nidus. That's your Nidus. Consume being researched too. And there we go. Science vessels with Irradiate on the way. That is what DHA2 needs to do to win this match and to break out of this contain that Jaedong has set up. All right, so 88 to 87 supply. We got Marines. They have Stim. They have medics supporting them. They've got tanks. They have science vessels. Irradiate is almost done. More science vessels are in production. The Lurkers are just slowing this push as best they can by spreading out. And whenever the tanks show up, they pull back a little bit. No, they get right on top of it. Oh, mama. All right, well, tanks are taking serious hits. The Marines are in trouble here, too. The science vessel getting detection here. Can they get rid of enough of these Lurkers? This guy getting stabbed. He does try to take down. No, he can't take down a Lurker, but one gets irradiated and destroyed. There's still 4 remaining. 80 to 74 supply. I almost feel like, wow, DHA2 has the upper hand here. But here comes a Defiler. Nice Dark Swarm. Gets one up before he dies. Now the Lurkers are problematic. One gets killed before he can quite burrow there. The science vessel picked off by the Scourge. Fantastic job there out of Jaedong. What else do we expect from this guy, though? He's got more production here. DHA2 is not going to go down without a fight. He's like, sure, I can't pick off these 2 Lurkers in the Dark Swarm, but I can counterattack. Let's push out and see what we've got. It's going to be Lings. It's going to be Lurkers. It's going to be Dark Swarm, which is just a brutal combination for DHA2 to have to deal with here. Jaedong knows exactly what he's working on. He's getting plagued too. And yeah, man, I mean, it's 89 to 77 supply. Technically, DHA2 has the supply lead, but he's still a bit contained at the front. Can't really break through this very easily, especially not with Dark Swarm ready to be cast. Nidus tossing on over to defend this new 4th base that Jaedong has thrown up while we weren't paying attention to it. Irradiate on a couple of these guys. Was that an Irradiate or Irradiate over here? Over here is what that one was. So the Dark Swarm wears off, and DHA2's able to break out here. Dropship flying across the map. Maybe go for some drop action here. Overlords spaced perfectly with Scourge to cap dropships that come directly from this natural base and down south. The problem is DHA2 doesn't have a 3rd base, and Jaedong is sitting on 4 right now, continuing to attack from the north to the south. We got fire bats in the mix, which are really great. I really like fire bats. I don't know what that was. Oh, dropship. Did that dropship try to go there and die? That was the sound of a dropship dying. Defensive Dark Swarm is up and ready to rock. We got Lings out in the middle of the map trying to see what they can do there too. Drop at the natural. Nicely done. Good defensive Dark Swarm. We just pick up with the dropship and get out of there. Was that another dropship that died? Because this one is still definitely alive. Yeah. Jaedong pushing over to try to take down this 4th base. Da2 is killing a bunch of these lings. Then the Dark Swarm comes up. Where's the Fire Bat? He's not in position to do this thing at all. Staying inside the Dark Swarm like a good Zerg that he is. The drop actually killing a lot of these drones back here. Da2 slowing down the economy just a little bit. If he can't get a 3rd base, he's going to slow down Jaedong's 4-base economy. Trying to take down the extractor, slow down his gas income. That seems like a really good deal there. Pulling back a little bit from the 4th. And just trying to kill as many of these drones as Terranly possible. This is a pretty big drone massacre. Actually, that drone killed a Marine. Then the Lings come in to clear that sucker out. Lings chasing the retreating forces of Da2. No, Da2 says, let's turn this around. We got Fire Bats. We got Fire Bats with +1 attack and +1 armor. Your Ling forces are no match for our friends down here. Let's do this. I'm loving it. Out of Da2 right now. Dropship heading on back home. Is there anybody in you? No, everybody's dead. Unfortunately. Da2 is really not showing any signs of going for a 3rd. Oh, just kidding. He started. Nope, that's a barracks. He doesn't have any command centers on the way at all. He can't take down the 4th base or the 3rd base. Jaedong is just happily doubling up the economy right now. But, oh, Science Vessel taken down by Scourge. The attack comes in. Where's the Dark Swarm? There is the Dark Swarm. Thanks. Ooh, the massacre on the bridge. Brutal, brutal stuff there. Da2 taking some serious hits. Jaedong just defending as well as you can as a Zerg player right now. Is that kindness plating? It certainly is. We're making Ultralisks, ladies and gentlemen. Jaedong is going for the Ultralisks. The 3rd base is landed. There's no gas income there, but it doesn't really matter as we're going heavily into the Marine production here. With obviously some Fire Bats, which are a little bit more gas heavy, that's for sure. He's just trying to win an engagement. Oh my gosh, the Plague! Oh, the Plague, no. Oh, the Lurkers catching the reinforcing units as they come across the map. They all end up dead. Everybody's Plague. Lings are running on in. They're not scared of your Fire Bats, especially if everybody has 1 hit point. Then everybody heads on home. They are just disgraced with red goop all over them and 0 hit points. I mean, 0, effectively 0. It's going to be 1, but that's not great here. The Lurkers really want to catch these guys. And they do take down a medic, which, okay, decent victory there. 115 to 92 supply. Jaedong is just killing it. Lings rolling in. There are some Fire Bats, though. These guys that aren't plagued, they're new. They're new to the party. So they're not plagued. Can you take down 4 Lurkers with this much guys? I don't think you can. Lings cruising up the right side. They have adrenal glands. They have +2, +1. They are working on +3, +2. They are cracklings in every sense of the word. Can they get... Oh, they can get into this 3rd. They can absolutely get into this 3rd. They are setting up to get into that 3rd. They're getting into that 3rd. There's a small engagement in the middle of the map here. Trying to come from every side now is Jaedong. Lings, Lurkers, Dark Swarms on everything. And Da2 has to get out. He has to get out of here. Scourge are trying to take... They get the Science Vessel. Oh, man. Defiler gets picked off. He's just outside of the Dark Swarm, which is a problem for Jaedong, but he just has so much stuff. 4 base versus what is now going to be... Yeah, this is going to be a 2-basing Terran, and that's your good game. Da2 is out. The Ling counterattack seals it for Jaedong. Jaedong is your winner here in 18 minutes and 2 seconds. Look at this. Look at this Dark Swarm setup here. That's 6 Dark Swarms set up. A little nice path for his Lings to run through on their way to the Terran base as necessary. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of Jaedong, man. He held that early aggression like a boss, like the boss that he is. It was tuck and go for a minute there, right? Those Marines showed up with those SCVs. That bunker went down. He had to pull all of the drones. He sacrificed a lot of mining time. He sacrificed some drones that died. But in the end, he knew you need to stay alive. That's the goal here, is staying alive. If you can stay alive, you're okay. If you die, you go back to the next game. So he did it a couple times, actually, pulling drones to try to stay alive in the first few minutes of that game. But he was able to do it, able to get into Lurker Tech very quickly, set up this contain, and then took a 3rd and a 4th base, where Da2 was stuck on 2 bases for a while and just didn't have the numbers to deal with this much Dark Swarm, this many Defilers, these many Lings. The Ultras didn't even come into play here. They wanted to play, but they were too late to the party, unfortunately for them. That Plague, again... that Plague right here is one of the best plagues I've ever seen. It seems like it caught so many Marines and medics and Fire Bats. All you can do from that point is retreat. I really feel for Da2 right there. Tough place to be for sure. A lot of Science Vessels went down to Scourge too. That was a major victory for Jaedong. If you can take out Science Vessels and keep that count low, you're going to have a much, much better time than if your opponent has 6, 7, 8 9-10 science vessels, as Flash likes to do from time to time. So here's the one, but he can't do much against these lings. And there are Scourge about anyway. So rough times for Mr. Science Vessel. He's probably dead in a second regardless. Let's check out that final score and see... Oh, no, this one. See the tail of the tape here. 346 Zerg units produced, killed 153, lost 177. So yeah, at the end of the match here, if you still have like 150, 100 Zerg units, you're probably okay in the long run there. Not many units, not many structures raised, rather. But yeah, this is the 4-base Zerg economy versus effectively a 2-base most of the time economy from DHA2. Way more gas mined. Minerals mined a little bit more here, and then just spent about 8,000 more minerals compared to his opponent. And if you have 8,000 more minerals worth of lings and lurkers and defilers, you're gonna have a good time. That's not minerals, that's total. Sorry, that's total resources spent. But yeah, that adds up to quite a bit. So good job there by Jaedong getting the win. I gotta look for more ZVTs from this guy, as they're a lot of fun. Had somebody request a ZVZ for me with Jaedong? I think I might have one of those. ZVZs, they're short, and I like the longer games. I like the longer macro stuff where you have battles in the middle of the map, and it's over, you know, after the 8-minute mark, I guess, is what I prefer to see there. So I might do a couple. I've done that before. I've done a couple ZVZs in a row, and that's been a lot of fun. But anyway, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.